Yo, YouTube, what's going on? You already know who it is, and we getting right into things, and yes, we back. Some Apex Legends content, and I want to talk about my man NiceWigg's hot take. Okay, I gotta talk about this because I think this highlights the big problem with Apex Legends right now. Or I don't even want to call it a problem. Let's just call it a dilemma, for lack of a better term. So this is NiceWigg's hot take. Okay, he put on Twitter on the 12th of July. I almost said February for some reason, but 12th of July. He came out with a hot take and he said this: Lifeline does not need a nerf. Pathfinder needs a buff. Caustic needs a nerf. Bangalore needs a rework. Loba needs a buff. Octane needs an effing miracle. Revenant needs to get out of the game. Okay, this was NiceWigg's hot take. Many people agree with this, okay? I am one of those people that agree with the vast majority of what NiceWigg is saying. Is NiceWigg spot on here, though? That's the thing. Whether if I agree with it or not, is NiceWigg spot on right here? And I have to say, again, for the most part, yeah, okay? And now let's talk about these legends one by one, okay? Lifeline. Lifeline does not need a nerf. I agree wholeheartedly. And NiceWigg actually backed up and supported this statement by quote tweeting this and saying, Lifeline can literally only res people. Her res should be broken. And again, I agree. That's all she can do. She's a combat medic. That's what she's here for. Okay, so I agree with that. It should be broken, okay? Yes, I believe that Lifeline does not need a nerf. So what if she can get her compadres back into the fight sooner? That's what she's meant for. She should be able to drop her doc drone and keep fighting while her doc goes ahead and brings people back to life, or brings them back from being in that knocked state, and they should be able to get back into the fight or heal up or whatever the case may be. Like, that is what that gives Lifeline a uniqueness. There's no other character in the game that can do what she does. Yes, Lifeline does not need a nerf. So I agree with that right there, 100%. NiceWigg, we 1 for 1 here. Pathfinder needs a buff. Again, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Pathfinder needs a buff. When they nerfed him to Oblivion, his grapple takes 35 seconds to recharge. And even if you miss grapple, still I have the issue. I believe they mentioned in the patch that if you misfired a grapple, that now they would no longer count, but it still happened to me when I would misfire and I have a 35-second cooldown. Like, dude, what? And then on top of that, the zipline nerf, dude. Now you can no longer zipline hop. There's now a cooldown. Like, yo, what? Oh my gosh, like he needs a buff. He needs a buff. He needs either a decreased cooldown time, like bring it back to 20-25 seconds, okay? It doesn't have to be back to where it once was, I believe at 15 seconds, if that. In some cases, it felt like it was right back right away. Decrease that cooldown time, or better yet, maybe, and this is something I can discuss in a later video, maybe Pathfinder needs a little bit of a rework. Maybe he just does, because now he's obsolete. Like, what is the point of having a Pathfinder on your team? To hit beacons to find out where to rotate? Nah, dog, nah. It's no point whatsoever. This is probably one of the biggest points, and everybody over Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch, everybody says this, and I just don't know what Respawn is doing in regards to this. I pray they have something in the works in regards to this. Caustic needs a nerf. We're 3 for 3, NiceWigg. I'm with you there. Caustic needs a flipping nerf. He is too powerful, especially in an in-game situation. If you are stuck in buildings with this dude, he will barricade you with gas canisters. You will choke. You will slow down. He will have clear vision, and he will put you down. It should not be like that. It should not. You should still have a viable chance to combat that and to fight Caustic. I don't know what the solution is here. Maybe making the barrel shootable at all times. You know, maybe that's a way to balance that, but maybe instead of taking one shot to get rid of the barrel once it's active, it takes a couple bullets for you to get rid of that active gas canister. Maybe something along the lines of that does help bring him a little bit more into balance, and it allows you to actually counterplay him. Maybe something like Crypto's EMP or something of that nature. Maybe when Revenant silences a Caustic, maybe the gas canisters go away. Maybe it's just something. Just give Caustic a counter. Right now, he has no counter. He's unstoppable. He's an unstoppable, undead, scientific madman. And he's clapping everybody cheeks in every single lobby. Like, come on. We need to combat that ASAP. Now, what NiceWigg says right here, this is the whole premise of the video, and this small statement has a special place in my heart. It does, because Bangalore is my favorite character in Apex Legends. I want to run Bangalore so bad, but there's really no need to. Bangalore needs a rework. NiceWigg, we are 4 for 4, dog. I'm with you. Bangalore needs a rework, and this is very specific. It has to be a rework. Why? Because if you upgrade her abilities in any way, shape, or form, she becomes OP. If you nerf them in any way, shape, or form, she becomes even more underpowered. She needs a rework. She does. And NiceWigg even goes on to say Bangalore's airstrike doesn't fit her kit and it's repetitive to Gibby, which it really is. Gosh, forgive me for my stutters. It's like 2 in the morning and I'm recording this because I'm amped. But yo, it really is inferior to Gibby. It really is, and it's repetitive. Gibby's airstrike hits and it hurts right away. Bangalore's Rolling Thunder hits, takes 37 years to pop, then it pops, hits nobody. All it's used for really is to create division in the fight and maybe retreat if you need to, which that's great, right? It's viable in that regard, but it should be more so able to use in an offensive standpoint. And I have a video talking about how we can rework Bangalore a little bit. And I will link that down below, because that's probably how you even found this channel in the first place, let's be honest. But that aside, I do think Bangalore just needs a rework. Keep speed in her arsenal. We need something about speeding up reloads. I mean, she's military personnel, like something about gunplay or something about being able to see through smoke like Caustic's gas and things. Like, I don't know, I have no idea. And again, I can dive into that deeper in another video, another topic for another day. But yes, Bangalore needs a rework, not a buff, not a nerf, a rework. NiceWigg, we coming up 5 for 5. Loba needs a buff. Believe it or not, Loba does need a buff. She does need a buff. And he even goes on to say that her tactical takes too long with the animation and the cooldown. And I agree, like, it looks mad dope, but the fact it takes 47 seconds for her to throw it, it takes another 65 years for it to land, and then another 37 trillion hours for her to put the bracelet back on her arm. Like, come on, dude, you're going to get clapped by anybody. Like, that animation may need to be slightly reworked in order for it to be a little bit faster. Let's be honest. Other than that, like, her black market boutique is still very situational, and she's just more of a fun pub character to use at this point in time. Like, there's no point in using a Loba in ranked or in any type of competitive play. There just really isn't, unless you just want to have fun, or unless you know you're going to be put in a position where you guys will need to use the black market boutique to snag a couple pieces of loot. But even then, she received a little bit of a nerf. If I'm not mistaken, just off the top of my head, I believe Loba received a little bit of a nerf when it comes to like ammo retrieval and things like that. So come on, man, come on, Respawn. What's happening? What's happening? Yo, Octane needs an effing miracle. Yes, he's just a mess. NiceWigg even goes on to say he's just a mess, and I agree. Like, he needs a rework. He needs a rework, 100%. He needs a rework at this point in time. Like, and I thought they were onto something when you could mistakenly heal while using the stem. I think that makes sense. Not Lifeline, whoa. Octane is a crackhead, right? Everybody knows that he's a crackhead. He should be able to do crackhead things like stick himself in the chest with his stem, hit his jump pad, and heal as he flows through the air. That's just the nature of the character. He should be able to do that. The fact that they patched that bug that was a great quality of life change for Octane just tells me that they're kind of out of touch in regards to that character. They just kind of are. And then NiceWigg's last statement: Revenant needs to get out of the game. Like, okay, that's the one I'm like, I'm a little bit on the other side of the spectrum there. And then NiceWigg even goes on to say Revenant lowers the skill gap 1000%, biggest crutch since the Havoc. I think that's a little bit of a reach. I personally think Revenant is in an alright place. I think his death totem, when they completely release the parameters of it and you can now go across the map if you can get there in time without it expiring, and you can literally fight people and then get clapped and go back to the totem with half health, like that, okay, that's too much. What I would have done in Respawn shoes is I might have did something along the lines of maybe extend the timer or take away the timer in an entirety, but balance how far you can traverse away from the death totem. Like, it just does not make sense for you to be able to go as far as you can. Like, if you think about what the death totem is, if you think about anything in terms of a lore standpoint or what the death totem even signifies, there should be some type of radius. Like there just should be. I don't think you should be able to go across the map if time permits and beat up on people only to go back to your totem and be safe and heal up and go back and push that team again, or go and do whatever you want to do. Like, that's unfair. So again, I think in that situation, you either keep the timer and you extend the time, or you get rid of the timer in an entirety and shrink the area, or not even necessarily shrink, but just keep the radius. The radius was fine. It was fine. Just extend the time or get rid of the time. Like, come on. 2 silences, that's okay. I understand that. He still has low profile on him. And other than that, I mean, if you put Death Totem aside, Revenant really isn't all that. You know what? I'm gonna eat my words real quick. His silence is actually pretty strong. The fact you can silence somebody for 20 seconds, now that it's hitting me again, guys, it's late. Forgive me for this. I'm stumbling everywhere. But the fact you can silence somebody for 20 seconds is a bit ridiculous. It is. I mean, I kind of think that should be brought back to 15. Actually, is it 20 seconds or 25 seconds? I can't recall, but 20 seconds, 20 plus is too long. Too long. 10 seconds is a little too short. 15 seconds, I think, is that sweet spot. I think that's that sweet spot. That gives the opposing team that got silence an opportunity to maybe regroup, reset, get out of there, or get unsilenced to be able to use their tactical or ultimate abilities again. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it balances the playing field a little bit. So does Revenant need to get out the game? And no, I just think NiceWigg is just voicing his frustrations in that regard. And I don't think he really means he needs to be taken out. I really don't. But I can understand where you're coming from, NiceWigg. So it's all good, man. So it's all good. So my man NiceWigg made 7 points here, and I agree with 6.5 out of 7. You know, I agree with everything, and I'm actually going to dive deeper into these topics. Lifeline not needing a nerf, Pathfinder needing a buff or a rework, Caustic needing a nerf, Bangalore needing to I'm gonna dive in all this stuff. I have to, because this is something that has to be discussed, and hopefully somebody from Respawn checks it out. If not, it's all good. Maybe, you know what I mean, hey, Reddit can work its magic. I don't know what can happen, but I gotta talk about this stuff because I do not want to see one of the best games to ever come out in the 2000s period fall because of balancing issues. Like, that shouldn't be the case. The lore is too dope, the gameplay is too dope, the movement's too dope. Of course, there's some issues like the audio, third-party stuff like that, but we can work with that. If we can get these characters taken care of, then we can tackle the big problems with the audio and things of that nature. But yo, rant over. Yeah, that's how I feel. If you guys feel any way in the opposition, let me know down in the comments below. I think it's healthy to have debates and to have discussions. So if you guys feel any other way, again, just please let me know. I am an open book. I am willing to hear the opposition. I'm willing to hear rebuttals, you name it. So it's your boy Cray. As always, we signing off. Peace and love. Until next time, we